she was smiling. Bathed in the soft glow of her salon lights, Valeria Marquez was mid-sentence on her live stream, responding to comments, laughing about her weekend plans, adjusting a strand of hair. Thousands were watching, and then the screen went black. A single sound had shattered the calm, a sharp crack followed by screams. "23-year-old Valeria, a rising TikTok star with dreams as big as her following, was slumped on the floor of her beauty salon, blood pooling beneath her. Moments earlier, she had welcomed a customer at the door. Just another appointment, just another day. Except it wasn't, because that man wasn't there for a haircut. He came with a gun. He left with her life. Valeria wasn't just another social media influencer. She was a dreamer in a country where dreaming often comes with a price. Born and raised in Zapopan, in the heart of Jalisco, Mexico, one of the country's most beautiful yet deadly regions, Valeria carved her identity not just with beauty tutorials, but with resilience. At 16, she dropped out of school to support her younger siblings. Her father had left when she was 12. Her mother, overworked and underpaid, took shifts as a cleaner at a local hospital. Valeria's phone became her canvas. With makeshift ring lights, borrowed makeup palettes, and secondhand phones, she built a digital empire, one TikTok at a time. By 22, she had over 300,000 followers. But to her community, she was more than a virtual icon. She opened a beauty salon, hired 2 neighborhood girls as assistants, and offered free haircuts to elderly women every Friday. This was not just fame, this was hope, and someone wanted it destroyed. May 13, 2025. It was around 3:45 p.m. when Valeria started a casual Instagram live session from her salon, just as she had dozens of times before. She joked about bad hair days, asked her followers to recommend a nail polish shade, and mentioned, almost offhandedly, something that would haunt investigators later. "I feel like someone's watching me lately," she said. "Maybe I'm just being paranoid." 6 minutes later, a man entered. Security footage showed him carrying a delivery bag, posing as a courier. Witnesses later confirmed he asked for her by name. He stepped forward. She smiled and said, "Yes, I'm Valeria." Then 3 shots rang out, one in the chest, one in the neck, one in the head. Her assistant screamed and ran into the street. The man calmly exited, mounted a waiting motorcycle, and disappeared into the chaotic streets of Zapopan. Her livestream cut out 14 seconds after the first shot. News spread like wildfire. Within an hour, #JusticeForValeria was trending in Mexico and across Latin America. Crowds gathered outside her salon with flowers, candles, and tearful silence. Her mother fainted upon identifying the body. Her brother punched a wall until his knuckles bled. But it wasn't just grief, it was rage. This wasn't just another murder. This was an execution, in broad daylight, caught on camera, and no one was in custody. In a country where more than 10 women are killed every day, Valeria became another name in a long, blood-stained list. Another face on a candlelight poster. But her followers, friends, and family were determined she would not be forgotten. 3 days after the murder, a name began circulating in hushed tones across Jalisco's criminal underworld. Ricardo Ruiz Velasco, better known as El Doble R, a top lieutenant in the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, CJNG, one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the Western Hemisphere. Unconfirmed reports claimed Ricardo was once romantically involved with Valeria, that he had fallen hard, that she had tried to distance herself, that she had even received threats. Mexican authorities, under increasing pressure, neither confirmed nor denied his involvement, but intelligence sources suggested Valeria may have been targeted not for what she did, but for who she refused to belong to. Some say she broke his heart. Others say she rejected his world. Either way, she paid for it with her life. Valeria's case struck a nerve because it wasn't isolated. It was systemic. Mexico has seen a surge in femicide, the killing of women because of their gender. In 2024 alone, over 900 women were officially classified as victims of femicide. Countless more cases remain unsolved or misclassified. Valeria's case was textbook. A young woman harassed, threatened, then murdered. Police failed to act on earlier reports she had filed. The justice system delayed forensics. No immediate arrests were made. She had warned people. She had feared for her life. No one listened until it was too late. Today, Valeria's salon stands quiet. A faded sign still hangs above the door, covered with wilting flowers. Her TikTok remains active, her last video frozen in time. In it, she laughs at a silly filter, flips her hair and says, "Life is too short not to smile." It's chilling now, but maybe that's why people still visit her profile. They're not just mourning her, they're reminding the world she lived, and perhaps that she deserved to live longer. The murder had witnesses, it had footage, it had motive whispers. Yet, days turned to weeks, and the Zapopan Police Department had nothing to show. No arrests, no official suspects, no press conferences. But investigators did have something. Her phone. Valeria's iPhone, recovered at the scene, held over 600 messages. Some deleted, some encrypted, many unread. With the help of cybercrime units, her device was decrypted, and what they found sent a chill down the spine of even the most seasoned detectives. There were voice notes, menacing ones. "You think you're untouchable behind your screen? You're not. I see you. I know where you work. Be careful who you say no to." One message, just a week before her death, simply said, "If I can't have you, no one will." The number was untraceable, registered to a burner phone, but investigators suspected the sender had cartel ties. CJNG, after all, had deep technological resources. Threats like this weren't rare. What made Valeria's case rare was that she spoke up. 2 weeks before she died, Valeria filed a domestic harassment report with the local municipal office. In it, she refused to name the person. She only wrote, "He is powerful. If I say his name, I'm already dead." The officer on duty dismissed it as paranoia. The Jalisco New Generation cartel is not just a drug operation, it is a shadow government. Known for its brutality, intelligence operations, and complete infiltration of law enforcement, CJNG doesn't issue warnings. They eliminate problems. Unofficial sources, former cartel insiders, told local reporters that Ricardo Ruiz Velasco, aka El R, was obsessed with Valeria. They had met at a private influencer event sponsored by a tequila brand, one quietly backed by CJNG's laundering network. Ricardo, then posing as a business entrepreneur, approached Valeria under a false name. He sent gifts, he paid for her salon's renovations. But when Valeria discovered his true identity, she cut ties. That's when the threats began. She told a friend, weeks before her murder, "I feel like a hunted animal." She had even considered leaving Zapopan, but her mother was sick, and Valeria couldn't afford to uproot the salon she'd built from scratch. In her final message to a close friend, she wrote, "If anything happens to me, it's because I said no to someone I should have feared." Despite mounting evidence, local police refused to confirm any cartel connection. Journalists who investigated the story received death threats. 2 reporters disappeared. Meanwhile, CCTV footage from nearby stores, capturing the killer's getaway route, was mysteriously deleted. A witness, a shopkeeper who saw the shooter flee, later retracted her statement saying, "I saw nothing. Please leave me alone." An independent journalist leaked internal police memos showing that 2 officers assigned to Valeria's case were themselves under investigation for ties to CJNG. 10 days after Valeria's murder, more than 15,000 people marched through the streets of Guadalajara. Women carried signs reading, "We are all Valeria. You silence one, we scream louder." Her mother, frail but unbroken, stood on stage and held up a framed photo of her daughter. She had no voice left. "I am her voice now," she cried. Human rights organizations took notice. International media picked up the story. Even the UN Women's Office in Mexico tweeted a call for urgent investigation into gender-targeted violence by criminal networks, but still, no arrests. In the last 72 hours of her life, Valeria behaved strangely. She stopped going live. She didn't post. She called her ex-boyfriend in tears, though they hadn't spoken in months. She ordered pepper spray online and asked her assistant not to leave her alone in the salon. Her brother found a handwritten note in her room that read, "If anything happens, don't believe it was random. I tried to fight. She knew someone was coming. She just didn't know when or how." As of today, over a month later, Valeria's murder remains officially unsolved. No arrests, no formal suspects, no justice. But her story lives. TikTok users continue to post videos demanding action. Her salon has been turned into a memorial. Artists painted a mural of her smiling, with the words, "She created beauty in a world full of monsters." Valeria Marquez's life wasn't just stolen. It was erased by a system that was supposed to protect her, and replaced by silence. But the silence didn't last. Because her name, her story, and her courage have sparked a fire. And for every person watching this video, every voice raised in outrage, every comment that says, "Justice for Valeria," know this: you are part of the resistance. You are her voice now. As weeks passed after Valeria's brutal livestream murder, her beauty salon remained closed, a haunting shell where hairdryers sat frozen in time, mirrors gathered dust, and the faint scent of perfume still lingered in the air. Regular clients left flowers outside the locked glass door. Her name was no longer just a brand. It had become a symbol, whispered with grief and fear. A local journalist, Carmen Silva, began digging into Valeria's final days. Carmen had survived threats before for reporting on cartel activities. What she uncovered chilled her to the bone. Valeria had been receiving anonymous messages weeks before her death, some threatening, some offering protection in exchange for silence. Screenshots showed her refusing shady business offers linked to laundering operations. Police, under pressure from public outrage, claimed they were interviewing known associates, but no arrests had been made. Carmen found out that the salon's CCTV hard drive had mysteriously gone missing, despite the police claiming they had secured all evidence. The livestream that shocked the nation, it was deleted from Facebook within hours, and the original file couldn't be found. Then came a mysterious break. Carmen received a secure envelope slipped under her apartment door. Inside, grainy photos. One showed Valeria arguing with a well-dressed man at a parking garage. Another showed that same man with a known drug intermediary, both laughing at a restaurant. Carmen recognized the man, a former councilman with rumored cartel ties. Carmen went to the authorities. At first, they seemed cooperative, until she realized they were stalling. Then came the warning. An anonymous message slipped into her car windshield. "Stop chasing ghosts, you'll be next." She posted the photos online. They went viral. Public pressure reignited. And suddenly the councilman, whose name had never even come up before, announced a sudden temporary leave for personal reasons. But even with this spark, fear outweighed action. No arrests, no public charges. Valeria's family remained in hiding, refusing interviews, terrified of retaliation. Her brother reportedly fled the country. Her mother, in a brief and tearful statement, said only, "They didn't just take my daughter, they took away her truth." Want to keep the investigation going? Don't forget to subscribe to True Crime Vault, where real stories are never forgotten, and truth always fights to surface.